Good afternoon, people. That right there behind me is Salford Quays. That right there, that's an old boat. But we haven't come to see that. No, we have not. We have come to see the most famous street in the UK, which is, of course, Coronation Street. We're back again. We're going in again. Now, last time I did this video about 2 years ago now, and I didn't know you couldn't film in there. I had a different camera with me, and it was really, I did get some footage, but it was quite hard to film without getting caught. So what I have done this time, I have brought stealth cameras, stealth microphones, and hopefully we'll be able to film a lot more. I probably should have done this intro after I'd actually been in, and could have, then I would have known if I'd have done it or not. But I have actually been in, so hopefully what I'm going to do is just try and stealth it all the way through, get as much as I can. So stay tuned, guys. Oh, and I've also, this one's a bit different. I meet a star on this one. It was an extra 17 quid. I don't know who it's going to be. It didn't say online who it's going to be, so that'll be a big surprise, won't it? So stay tuned for that, and come on, let's get inside the most famous street in England, Coronation Street. Let's go do a bit of vlogging, secret vlogging.
Wonderful. So, what can you see? Buzzword, shout them out. Hospital, what else? Cars, car park. Those are the types of stuff you can see. Now, the reason why I mention this is because sometimes we are not on the famous cobbles that everyone knows and loves. Sometimes we are elsewhere, and sometimes this is called on location. This is where we go further than these walls. However, sometimes on location can be closer to home than what we think. For instance, who remembers back in January all the troubles that we've had with Harper in the hospital? You had David, you had Shona. David was on his way to the hospital. A doctor tried to steal his parking space. David was not best pleased at all. That happened in that car park over there, okay? Now, over here we have a big black gate. How impressed are you about this black gate? You're probably thinking, Ethan, you're crazy, go back to bed. Now, this is actually where we released Roy Cropper from prison, okay? We had Nina and we had Dee Dee, the solicitor, waiting out here for Roy. Now, when you go back and watch it, you've seen it in the VT, you'll notice there's no path in front of Roy where he walks out. It's just a patch of stones, these stones, because they don't reveal the gate too much. If they were to reveal the gate too much, you would notice there's not a prison back there, it's just a road. Trafford Wharf Road, okay? So what we do to disguise it, we put a semicircle of vans around, and then we put our actor who plays Roy in the middle of that. Now this does two things. One, it protects Roy for his sort of security from all of his adoring fans all shouting, Roy! Roy! Because it is genuinely like Beatlemania with that man. Goodness me, he is finely respected, okay? Now the other thing it does as well is it means we don't have to continuously edit in a fake prison behind them. Now, when you do see a prison, that uses post-production. That is much later on once we've filmed everything, okay? Now we're going to take a slight wander down. Fabulous. Okay, look to your left. Who owns a Viaduct Bistro van? Nick. No. Not Nick, no. No. ITV. ITV owns the van. They own all of the cars down here, and they've insured them as well. So that way our actors and extras can genuinely drive them. Now, this wasn't always the home of Coronation Street, but when it was, as of 2014, we were then able to expand. And by that I mean we expanded all of our roads by 33%. That way we could have two cars driving at each other and not crash, which is always a lovely thing. But it just helps to add to that authenticity that what you're seeing is real, even though it's not, okay? Now, do I have a volunteer? Can I have a volunteer? Yep. Do you want to pop, you popped your hand up. Do you want to just go over to those bins, just have a look around for me? Yeah, just have a look around. What do you see?
A brick, coffee.
Yeah.
Wine bottle.
Wonderful. Nothing suspicious? No, oh, I hope not. Make your way back. Thank you very much. You're probably thinking, Ethan, you really need to go to bed. You've definitely lost your marbles. Well, that right there, nothing suspicious. Maybe a dead body. We'll check later. That goes to show that Ronnie did a very good job of wiping Carl's blood up the other night, because that's exactly where that happened, right? Replace a viaduct bistro van with Ronnie's car, with Carl in the back, and wiping all the blood up and disposing of it in the green bin. That happened in that corner over there, okay? Again, we're thinking about ways that we can utilise the space that we have without going outside to our advantage, okay? That's the one thing I want to get into your head as we walk down this section particularly, okay? Now we're going to make our way slightly higher up. Wonderful. Now look to your left. You can see the underworld van. If you're further back, just look in front, okay? So you can see the underworld van. Now think very carefully. Who owns the underworld van? Carla. Goodness me, do you not watch the show? Right, well, skipping past that, over here we have what's called Noble Street. Now again, this is another street that you will see and not even know it, because you're so fixated on the Rovers and maybe Swala's place. Who wouldn't be? But with that in mind, as we go past it, I want you to look down the crack of the wall on the right-hand side. As you're walking past, I will describe to you what you're seeing down that crack, okay? So follow me this way. And start having a glance now. Okay, everyone had a nice look at the crack? Is a sentence I never thought I would say. So, you've had a look down there. That is what's known as Unknown Street, okay? So that's where a plethora of things can happen, and we want it to be as conspicuous as possible, hence why it doesn't happen on a more well-known street. In 2022, we had the spiking story of Amy Barlow, okay? This happened on Unknown Street. As you look down, you'd be able to see a pair of silver shutters. These shut all the way down. This is supposed to be where the entrance to the nightclub was. In real life, this is the entrance to Prima Donna. Now, if you ask me, takeaway, nightclub, wrapped up in one, great night out. Now, as we go all the way down Noble Street, take a look at this wall. You might recognise it from not last Friday, but the Friday before, because this opened seeing Todd being chased by Theo. They started from there, they ran all the way straight down to here, okay? Another time where you'll be able to see it is for Seb Franklin's death. Speaking of which, there was a certain police officer that came on board 5 years ago for the hate crimes of Seb Franklin. Who was that police officer who's just been on the show for 5 years? Any guesses? Lisa Swain. So she has now officially been on the show for 5 years. What started out as a little cameo part snowballed into 5 years, a marriage and a child. How wonderful. So with that, we're going to make our way slightly further forward. You will see police cars. These police cars aren't real. No one's getting arrested today. If you're at the back, feel free to come a bit closer. Can you still hear me? Fab. Preston's petal van. Who owns Preston's petal van?
Tracy.
ITV. I'm trying to teach you something. Goodness me, you're making it difficult, aren't you? Anyway, we're going to make our way to the police station, which is unfortunate because if Todd and Theo had ran this way, and if Seb had run a little bit further, both of which would have been at the doorstep of Swain and Green. Okay? So let's make our way just outside the police station. Fabulous. Now, just before I talk to you about the building, I just want a quick to tell you quickly about what's happening outside, because like I say, it is a normal road, but we have a tram stop. Manchester is obviously famous for its trams, so the B Network and ITV struck a deal with each other in terms of a contract. They said we want the quietest tram stop imaginable, just so it doesn't disrupt any filming here. Now, they agreed, so out there is the quietest tram. It does mean you can still hear it, but it doesn't mean that it will disrupt filming. What will disrupt filming, maybe, is construction work. We can't predict when that's going to happen. So, behind you, like I say, you could have a plethora of different construction zones happening all at once. Now, when that does happen, and you start hearing it, expect an influx of people in high-vis jackets and hard hats, carrying ladders and toolboxes. And that's just because suddenly it stops being part of the real world and it starts being consumed into the fictional world of Weatherfield, okay? Suddenly you think that somewhere in Weatherfield there is going to be a new construction site and you're going to get a new set. You're not, it's literally just someone banging away over the wall in the real world, right? So that's exactly what we have there. Now this is a 90-minute exterior walking set. Now I say exterior because the interiors are very small and very tiny. We can barely fit about 6 people in there all at once. So that's why we're not doing any interior sets. We will talk about them, but we won't go inside them. But there are some of them that we do use the exterior of and the interior of. One of these is the police station. Before we go in, I do just want to give you a few examples and a few facts about the police station, okay? So, what do we think of Swain? Do we like Swain?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do we like Kit Green?
Yeah. I've met him as
Yeah?
well.
Some of you are a bit whistling, some of you, ooh. Well, fit Kit, let me tell you. So, Kit, essentially, if you get put in handcuffs, you're either in for the night in the cells or the night of your life. Who knows? So, essentially, with the police station, I don't know why they don't have a revolving door, because there is about 130 arrests that have happened. But what if I told you that essentially out of the 130, there was one in particular that rattled cages called the Weatherfield One. Who am I talking about when I say the Weatherfield One? Deirdre Barlow. She wasn't called Barlow back then, but she was wrongfully arrested for a crime she did not commit. Now, this crime led to fans essentially cashing in cheques for about £5,000 to ITV. Please make sure you don't do that. Now, I'm going to give you some time to explore. So, as you go in, I'm going to open up both doors. If you start going through this way and come out that way, take some photos, and then we'll move on after that, okay? So, after me, behind the desk, the door is open. It's open to a cell block set, okay? Remember last week when the Kit and Lisa have all been really hounding everyone for their different stories and things. One of these stories involved George Shuttleworth being put into the cells, okay, overnight. That's where those cells are kept. You also have, I can't go back there, I'm afraid, but you also have the interview room just over there as well. And above the police station, you actually have the Chariot Square Hotel, okay? It sounds completely random, but yes, because we like to utilise space, that's the home of the Chariot Square Hotel. Not the Chariot Square Hotel bedrooms, though. The bedrooms is above the Rovers. Yeah, it sounds really weird, but when you saw Mal and you saw Bernie and Ryan was trying to protect Bernie from Mal, and all that happened in the Chariot Square bedroom, that was above the Rovers Return, right? Exactly. Because again, that just means that we are utilising the space that we have. Now, we've been to one of the safest places, now to one of the most dangerous places. Get your walking boots on. Off we go to the precinct. And again, feel free to semicircle around. We won't spend a long time here. However, I do just want to point out that, of course, this is the precinct. Now, the history of the precinct is very simple. 2021, we had the pencil drawings. 2022, we built the thing. 2023, we saw it in January. It was right up here. Now, recently we've seen it in all of its glory, with Theo chasing Todd, Jodie talking to Lily, and obviously Megan nearly being pushed down the stairs by Maggie. Now, all of that being said, the one person that was missing, whose plot line we've also been seeing, was Carl. Why? Because he was in the hospital. Again, that's where he always seems to be at the minute. Now we're going to do a Who Lives Where. Number 2 is where you had Dylan and you had Sean. Number 3 is where you used to have Sabrina. And number 4, you used to have Lauren. And now you have Abby and Carl, but now Carl has moved into the hospital again. So he is now back in the hospital, you know, making it his home. But yes, it has been home to lots of different people in here. You've also had Craig Tinker, who died just around this area, and you had Megan and Will with a burner phone sat in the car just over there as well. And finally, you had Billy when he was racing to see Paul in the hospital, making his way right round that way. Now is your time to take some photos. Feel free to make your way around there, take a look in the windows, and I will meet you by the staircase. Don't go in. Now, make sure you semicircle around this area for me, but don't come any further than this, okay? Semicircle just around here, but make sure you don't go any further than this sort of section. Wonderful. Still keep making your way all the way right around for me. Excellent. Wonderful. Now, is that everyone back there? Thumbs up if it is. Yeah, fabulous. Excellent. So, just before we have a look on Victoria Street, I do just want to point out that lodge over there, that silver building. That is called Victoria Lodge. We use it as a plethora of things for green screen, for our actors, for our props. But at the minute, we've seen a lot centering around Daniel and Megan, and among other people such as Will and Sam as well. So that being said, if I was to take you down there, unfortunately I can't, but if I was, you would see that it is set dressed to look like Weatherfield High, okay? From the exterior, that is Weatherfield High, okay? Not a big school building, a small little Victoria Lodge building, right? Now, we also have Studios 5 and 6, where you can find Underworld, you can find Roy's Rolls and Debbie's Flat, and we also have our props warehouse as well, located over there too. Now, you are going to get a chance to go onto Victoria Street. All I ask is that you don't go any further than just beyond George Shuttleworth's and the Red Bank apartments, okay? So just have an explore, take some pictures, and then I will tell you some facts whilst you're roaming around, okay? So, explore. Okay. So essentially, imagine you're seeing the title sequence, and then you see the words Coronation Street come up. This is slowly followed by a faint P in the corner just above the titles. It then fades. Sometimes coming off the ad breaks, you'll also see a P, and it'll fade. That stands for product placement. It allows us to then basically use real world brands in our fictional world of Weatherfield. At the minute, ours is Argos and Sainsbury's. Now, as part of that deal, we have a Sainsbury's by the viaduct. We also have Connie and Trevor, who do the little skits just as you're coming off the ad breaks. And we also have an Argos van in the background, okay? So next time you're watching a really intense scene, look for that Argos van to come along and basically take the spotlight, right? So essentially, it's so important. Now, more often than not, we have our different brands that take over every single time their license expires. So we have Hayes Travel. We also have Costa. We've had the Co-op. Now we're on Sainsbury's. Sometimes both of these shops will be doing 2 different product placements. At the minute, the Weatherfield pop-up shop is of course just a fictional shop, okay? Just also waiting for some more license. Now, over here we have, let me see. No one's crying today. Well done. So, essentially, we have the community gardens every time, and there's a lot of sort of nitty-gritty bits in that garden that we can dissect. For instance, we have a tree that was known as Queen Elizabeth's tree, just in the corner, and she has a little plaque there as well. Now we also have the bench. This is a memorial bench for the Manchester bombings. Now, normally fictional worlds don't intersect with real life events, but this time we did, just because it meant so much. There's quite a few people that died in that horrific incident, that we make that bench just as a way of saying that we don't forget, even on a TV show. Okay? Now, over there, we have the tram stop. Now, the trams, they're not real, okay? The ones outside, they are. Now, the ones inside Weatherfield are. Next time you see this, have a look up, because you won't actually be able to see up, but what you'll be able to do is hear. You might see some sort of dialogue happening here, and they'll say, suddenly, and have the trams come in and go ka-kunk-kunk, ka-kunk-kunk, ka-kunk-kunk in the background. That comes with Foley in our post-production section as well. Now, up here we have the Red Bank Apartments. At the top, that is where Sarah lives with whichever fella she's got this week. I think it's still Kit, or as David likes to call him, the Jolly Green Giant. Underneath we have Adam and we have Alia, which is great because your speed dial just down there. Now, on your left, you can see the dodgy alleyway where we have dodgy dealings. We have Megan and Will down there most recently, or you'll have me if I'm on a cheap day. I promise I'm not going to get wine and a takeaway, and I do, and I don't want anyone to see me. That's just a little bit about me. Now, on the right-hand side, we also have Trim Up North, and we have where a few weeks ago, Todd appeared to Sarah, all bleeding and horrible because of Theo's doing. Now we're going to make our way slightly higher up to the centre of Victoria Street. Now, just before we go any further on, I'm just going to break down this section where we've just passed. If you would like, feel free to explore Seb's garden. This is regularly tended to by Nina and Abby. On the right-hand side, we have Victoria Court. On the top, we have Nick and Toya, and Sam when he's not falling face first on the cobbles every week. We also have, underneath, Maria and Gary. Now, in real life, where Maria and Gary is, that is the level where the Chariot Square Hotel's on, okay? And that makes no sense because the Chariot Square is in the police station. Well, this is the other side of the police station, okay? If I was to go through those sets of doors, that would lead me behind the desk of the police station, right? Now, as well as that, we also have the workers' yard. We've seen a lot of hubbub around it, centering Gary, erasing the CCTV of him smashing up Theo's van. That was also out here. And then we also had that confrontation a few weeks back between Theo and Gary as well. Testosterone flying all over the place. Now, we also have up there, this is where tragedy, sorry, it's really getting to me because it meant so much to me. Tina McIntyre, in 2014, she got pushed off there and she fell all the way down to the floor. She got up and she was great. And then whack over the head with a metal pipe, right? So then they ended up right there. But Michelle Keegan did it herself. She did her own stunts, okay? And it was an important death because it was Tina. No, because it was essentially the first death that we had at this site on these cobbles. Now, every now and again, we have people trying to recreate the death. If we do, I will just walk over you and judge you. But it's fine. You can do it if you want. But speaking of posing, we are coming up to our next photo opportunity. There's Roy's Rolls. Now, there will be a line that generates. So what you can either do is go a little bit further on, explore the takeaway shop Prima Donna, which is open for business, but not giving you any takeaways, unfortunately. And you can just have a little wander and come back when the line is quieter. If you do want to do that, please make sure you're going on the side of where Ella is. And if you want to take a photo, please do get your photo tickets ready. If you don't have one, let me know. And if you want it on your phone, also let me know. And we're just going to go and queue where the community centre is. So follow me this way.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that going round.
That's a bit off, that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've had worse. I've had a lot worse over the years. Smashing it with a secret filming.
Are you ready to go onto Coronation Street? Yeah, wonderful. Well, in that case, I'm not going to make you sing the theme tune, but I am going to make you count down from 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Happy Coronation Street New Year! Come on.
We'll wander off from the group. And the master. That's secret filming. The master. Just pretending I'm posing for pictures. Like that. Microphone's well hidden. Whoa. What building's that? Don't recognise that. No.
So bad.
Dodgy alley.
Oh, it's the back door.
Sneaking about. Is it straight back home tonight on the coach, or are you staying over?
I'm staying over and going back tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's not too bad then, is it?
5 coach.
5:15 in the morning. How's it take you to go home? That's 6 hours.
I don't get back to Bournemouth till about 1:45.
Jesus.
Then I've got to get off at London and wait for 40 minutes for another connection.
Oh.
It's up Victoria, but it's not too bad. I've done it before.
But do you use that Flix bus?
I use the National
No,
Express.
so
it's a
that
lot
Flix,
faster.
oh, that Flix
The
is supposed to be
Flixbus.
cheap, aren't they? Though?
Yeah, and National Express is very reasonable. I've done the Megabus. Christ, the seats,
I went to
the seats on those are awful.
I went to Barcelona on the megabus. 33 quid each way it cost me.
Oh, but the seats are like rock bloody hard, aren't they?
After about 6 hours into the trip, they shut the toilets.
What?
They were full, couldn't use them.
Full?
Full. And then,
What do you mean with people?
yeah, the septic tanks or whatever, yeah, so you couldn't use the toilet.
Oh, jeez.
And then at the time, it was when the Channel Tunnel strikes were on,
Oh no.
and the ferry strikes were on. So we sat at Dover for, I think it was 9.5 hours.
Oh Christ.
So to get from, I went from Preston. So Preston to France took 3 days,
Oh, no.
and then from there on to Barcelona.
No, it must have been awful. Was that the toilets? You
horrible.
couldn't use the toilets there.
It's horrible.
That must have been dreadful. But they can't not do that for 3 days, though, can they?
No, they have to keep stopping at services.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So-
Oh, God.
I've looked at that Flixbus. You can go to like Switzerland and
Can you?
you can go. Yeah, you can go all over Europe on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know you could do all
yeah.
that.
It's not the cheapest when you start going abroad.
No.
It's probably cheaper to fly, but
Yeah.
it'd be a nice ride, wouldn't it, all the way?
It
Sort of
sounds a
thing.
bit of fun, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially from like from here, you've got to go from Manchester to London,
Yeah.
and then you change at London to go abroad. So
Oh,
it
wow.
might be a bit easier. But if you go onto their app
Yeah.
and you click on destinations, it loads up a map, and it's got a green dot of everywhere in Europe they go
Oh,
to.
wow.
It's
Fantastic.
it's worth a look.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite good.
Nice.
I think I looked at going to.
So you like living up here, do you?
Yeah, it's expensive. The rent is ridiculous.
Is it?
I've got a 1-bedroom apartment.
Oh, right.
It's in a good area. It's £1,200 a month.
Oh, my God. Wow.
It's dear. It is dear.
So where do you work?
I'm a truck driver.
Oh, well done you.
So, but yeah, I'm classed as city centre where I live, so
Yeah.
you pay more, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, the rent's. If you got, I mean, I don't drink, but a pint in the town, you're looking at £6-7.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, I don't drink, so I used to, but not anymore.
No, that is a lot, isn't it?
Mm,
Builds up.
does, yeah.
And look at me.
So the transport's good round here, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's just £2 to get away. Every journey's £2, isn't
On the
it?
trams.
On the trams or the
Yeah.
buses, you can buy a ticket for £5 a day.
Oh, that's good.
Just go wherever you want.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that B network.
Anyone else for a Rovers photo who has an...
What a nice man. Talking to him outside. 16 times he's been. He was here yesterday. Come for the weekend.
No, everyone's exploring.
Sneeze. Excuse me. Underworld.
Now you've all had a little bit of an explore, we're going to figure out which character lives where, starting with the Rovers Return. Who lives currently in the Rovers Return? Eva and the Driscolls, best band name in the world. We also have Mr. Coronation Street himself in number 1 Coronation Street, Ken Barlow. Now with Ken, you obviously have Steve, you have Amy, you have Tracy, and you have Cassie when she's having sleepovers with Steve. Now, next to that, you have what used to be where Ken was born into, number 3 Coronation Street. Now, a fun fact about William Roach, he has just turned 94 years old and still standing strong to this day. Now, he well and truly is a Corrie king. But who lives at number 3 now? It is, of course, the Bailey family. Now, at number 5, you have a bit of a barn door for Gemma and Chesney, Joseph and the Quads as well. Don't ask me where they all sleep. Now, next door to that, number 7, you also have Bernie and Dev and Asher. And that's really handy because when Bernie's had a bit of a tiff with Dev, she just goes over to number 5. Now, number 9, we have, with that wonderful cladding, Fizz and Tyrone and the kids. Now, way back when, it was the Duckworth's house, right? Now, it was Vera that decided to put the cladding onto the house because she says, I want to bring a bit of class to the street, and so she did. Number 11, now that was originally the Tanners, and you can actually see Dennis Tanner being etched into there. It was also Eileen's as well, but now it's currently George Shuttleworth with Glinda and Christina, and also Mary and Todd as well. So again, full house, don't know where they all sleep. Like to think that Todd and Mary sleep together, top and tail. Now, over there we have 13. 13, we have the Ogdens. Now, remember the Ogdens with the wonky ducks and things? But now it is Jack and Kevin. Now, we're breaching more onto Viaduct Street, but the flat above Allahan's is, of course, where Todd and Theo were, but now it is an empty flat. Now, if we go over to the posh side of the street, just where Katie's sitting, give us a wave, Katie. Oh, hello, Katie. Down there, over there, we have Leanne, okay? It was Megan and Leanne, but then, of course, Leanne chucked her out, rightly so. Now, we also have the Metcalf. We have Tim and Sally. So we have that as well with all of the kids and looking after Lou's kids too. And then finally, we have the Swallow household. There we have a whole plethora of people because of the fire in Roy's Rolls. You have Nina and Roy, you have Lisa and Carla. You also did have Connie, and of course you had Betsy and Ryan as well. Now here you have the Platt family residence. Platt family residence, how wonderful, woo! Now they are always there. For a long time, the house was under Gail's name. Now she's left, it's under David's. But joining her, you have Audrey, joining him, I should say, you have Audrey in the little annex. You also have David's love interest, Jodie, sorry, not Jodie, goodness me, might as well be. You also have Shona, you have Dog David, my favourite character, you have Lily as well. Now finally over here, we have Rita, who lives above the cabin. You probably won't like the fact that I'm shouting out in her nap time. Now we also have Brian as well that lives in the flat behind. Now that is where everyone lives. We are now going to take a slow walk up to Viaduct Street. So take your last photos and join me. Right, yeah. But that isn't the only travel related incident that we've had on the street. We've also had in 1967 a train crash derail onto Coronation Street. So for goodness sake, if you want to get the tram anywhere else, please make sure it is somewhere safe that isn't going to come crashing down onto a street, okay? Has a bit of a track record now. Now we're going to take a bit of a slow stroll all the way over to what we call the Tony Warren building. So follow me this way. Hello, just waiting for the time to just go to the Tony Warren building. I'll be in about 5 minutes. Fabulous, all wrong. It is.
Weatherfield General Hospital.
Now feel free to just gather round here for a second.
My tour group is heading out now.
Fabulous. So just whilst the last of you are coming forward, I just want to point out this. This is not a real general hospital, believe it or not. We have all the studios where your living rooms are and all of the pub sets and things, but we do also have the green rooms. We have hair, wardrobe, costume, makeup. Now, all of that means that this is not a real hospital, but we can utilise it. So again, we're finishing where we started. We're thinking about how we can utilise the space around us. Now, I can confirm that, and this won't sound like a great clue, but think about it, your star does live on Coronation Street. And it doesn't sound like a good one, but think that eliminates Victoria Street, Roslyn Street. It also gets rid of Viaduct Street as well. So yeah, that's what you have. Now, your star is ready and waiting, so we're going to make our way through. However, if you need to use the lift, do let a staff member know. If not, we're going up 2 flights of stairs, so follow me. And we're going to make our way through the car park. Now, it is still an active car park, so we're going to go safely, just sticking to the left-hand wall. Follow me this way.
So that was my little bit of vlogging in Coronation Street, right there. I don't know how well that's going to come out in the edit. I did have to really sneaky film that. I think the guy got on to me a few times. He kept looking down at what my hands were doing, but I've got away with it. I've got a lot of footage. I don't know how well it's going to come out because I've done it, but hopefully it looks all right. And I hope you enjoy watching it. And if you do, consider hitting that subscribe button. Definitely press that like button. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, I shall see you soon.
Johnny 360 travels in your adventure every day. Come and see the world with me in a whole new way. If you like what you